Hello, my fellow YouTubers, and no, this is not as far-fetched as the title may seem. We always know that the military, and especially the New World Order, have multiple agendas behind what they do. Like, obviously, left, right, elite, New World Order, Rothschild, Soros. This caravan was set up. This is all staged. We know it. We're all going to put out our guesses. We see that all over the truther channels. But the increased food shortages are coming. We're eventually going to see them in the U.S. No, they will not be able to hide it. And at the moment, the U.S. is Google it. The U.S. is importing 15 billion plus a year to feed us all right now. And with the multiple agenda thing, to say that they would not start this caravan for a cover for something like this is not that hard to see. If they knew that the food shortages were coming pretty soon, within, especially, you'd want to get these people down there in advance. You want to stage something that is big, that would cause an incident, but you don't want to do an actual Chinese invasion from the tanks that aren't over there. So I'm saying, yes, there is going to be an incident with the caravan because they have to have something, because they need a reason to keep them down there, and like they do with a lot of shit, it's a see I told you so. So there will be an incident because they have to have one, because they want to keep the troops down there. And there's been different agendas and reasons why that we as the people say, and as they say, they want the troops down there. I'm going to include a link that I did before from a conversation with Jeff Rense and Dane Wigington, who is my favorite person in climate engineering. I know people hate him, and he's CIA, and well, if he's CIA, then how come you people have, hundreds of thousands and more subscribers than he does? And also from endtimesprophecy.org. Christian or not, they have the best website out there for the mass animal die-offs around the world. The planet is dying. The birds, the bees, the plants, the trees, the plankton. And as far as the trees go, not just from the massive forest fires around the world, but they're dying, like in that short video I did some time ago. Go up close, look at trees. They're dying when they're not supposed to be. Which it's harder to do now because like winter here in Denver, but it's incredible. The oceans are, there's like I've said before, there is no recovery time for nothing. Each year compounds itself upon another. But to the recovery time, the oceans aren't going to recover because they're toast. All that sea life, the plankton. Plankton is our #1 source of oxygen. I never do that. Then followed by the trees and all the smaller green leafy stuff. But there's no time for that to recover. There's no time for the cattle to recover. They got to eat the grains that we grow, that we feed to them, that we feed to us. And there's no recovery time for that shit to grow back with the worldwide fucked up weather and what they're spraying. The aluminum, the barium, the strontium that's being sucked into everything is and us too. We're breathing that, we're eating that, along with the GMOs and everything else. The Canadian border, I better address that. Now what? The Canadian people are, lack of a better word, they're richer. They have more resources up there. They have land. They can go hunting. As the wildlife is also dwindling, and that's a fact. And with the border thing, the estimates are what, 6,000 to 30,000 these people in this caravan. Now we get into no longer we can hide the food shortage thing. These countries like down in South America, they're having issues too. You don't think so? Google it. I mean, one guy I saw, oh man, what was the damn article? I think it was a Washington Post last year when, I don't know if it was Venezuela or Guatemala, but he was telling people, if you're hungry, go eat your fucking pet rabbits. Love the, no love there. But, this is a real issue. This is major, and I can literally see it. They need to cover our asses on the southern border for when this food shortage shit, as Dan Wigington and others say, can no longer be hidden from our shelves or lack of what's on our shelves. But this is an important issue. We need to pay attention. Like I said, there is going to be an incident. There is going to be some, physical people shooting at each other, and obviously we're going to win that. But they have to have that because they want to keep the troops down there. Now, sure, they could say if nothing physical happened, nobody dies, and Trump doesn't load up his tent with the caravan, when the immigrants, the illegals, whatever you want to call them, if he doesn't load them all up in the tents, and they're going to leave the military down there. I guarantee you that. You know, this has been they've been wanting to do this for a long time. Like we know, they always have multiple agendas, and they could come out and, let's say nothing happened. They could, and people say, well, why not return the military? They could come out and say, well, the logistics and the money it would cost. The military does not give a shit about logistics, you know that. The government, the military, does not give a shit about the cost, because who gets to pay for that? That doesn't come out of the troops' pockets. I mean, they should be paid for it, but that's, anyway, that's all neither here nor there. But I really believe, and as lame as a far-fetched as you might want to call it, this is what's going on. That's the big thing I see behind it. So, you know, whatever that's worth, and oh, for whatever it's worth, my Satan Claus hat. I don't do a tree. I wear my Santa hat when I can sometimes, and I have a couple strings of Christmas lights and just burn out on the Christmas trees and all that stuff. But anyway, until next time, I'll be here, and later, bye.